Welcome back. In this follow-up video, we're going to take the circles that we've now sketched on all the faces of the dice and we will give them some depth. So to do that, we're going to use the extrude command. And what we'll be doing is we'll be working on one face at a time. It won't let us select, and I'll just show you how this looks. If I select these three circles and then I try to come over to the other face, I can't work on the other face. I can only work on this face at one time, or one face at one time. But what I can do is I can do all of these circles at once. I want these circles to not come out of the dice like this. Obviously, I want them to go in, so I can drag my cursor down. You'll notice that this value highlighted in blue changes to a negative number. And the number that we're going to use for our depth will be negatives. We'll type it on the keyboard, 0.05. So this will end up being 50 thousandths of an inch, and we'll hit enter. So the process now gets fairly straightforward. One thing you may not have noticed, but you will as you go, is that when you give depth to these circles, the sketch that was on that face that was visible is now been hidden. If I were to look over in this folder here, I can see that that sketch number 2, this one, had the visibility turned off when I made an extrusion using it. And that's just helps your workflow. It kind of gets a sketch that's been used, that has done something, out of the way, so you don't have to look at it anymore. I can just kind of hide those sketches by collapsing the folder over here on the left. We'll continue doing subsequent faces of the dice. In this case, we can choose the 2, and the process will get pretty familiar as we go. So I'm going to select those 2. We're going to type again on our keyboard negative 0.05 and move on. So now we're just going to kind of roll through all these other faces of the dice. Again, always coming up here to select the extrusion command, always working one face at a time, and then always typing in the value of negative 0.05, which is negative 50 thousandths of an inch. Once I've done these 3 faces that are visible to me, I will need to use the view cube to orbit around and look at some new faces. I clicked here. I could orbit one more time just so I can see more stuff. If I wanted to get crazy, I can come here on the bottom left and take a look at what's down there as well. So we'll work on these 2 visible faces. I can come up here and I can click extrude every time, or using my keyboard, I can hit E for extrude. And that will bring me right into the command. I don't have to move my cursor up to the icon in the toolbar. I selected all 5 circles over here, and I'm going to type negative 0.05 again. I'm going to hit E on my keyboard so I can do this face with the 6 dots, and just select each one and then type on my keyboard negative 0.05, hit enter. By my count, we've done 5 faces now, and we should just need to do the bottom. So we'll manipulate the view cube so we can see that, and we'll use the extrude command, and we will select the 4 different dots. Again, the value that we're going to type in on our keyboard is negative 0.05, and we'll hit enter. Now if we orbit around, we can see that we've got a machined dice. It has dots in all faces that are ready to go. The next thing that we can do to this dice is we can take these edges and we can ease them over. We can put a 45-degree edge on here, which will soften it and will make it roll better and make it feel more comfortable. So to do that, we will come over here to the modify toolbar, and we're going to click this drop down, and we want to use this command called chamfer. To get the chamfer going, we just simply kind of click all the edges that we want to chamfer, and if we want, we could work all the way around this dice, just selecting every visible edge. At this point, I need to orbit around a little bit, so we can do that. There we go. You know what? We'll just type in a value at this point. I want to put in a chamfering difference of 0.03 inches and hit enter. Okay, I know I have some faces on the back. I'm going to use my mouse this time to try to orbit around so I can get at them. Okay, so I've got a couple edges here that remain, and I'm going to again go to modify. I'm going to go down to the chamfer tool. I'm going to start clicking visible edges. And it'd probably be a good idea at this point if I orbit it around and make sure I have everything. It looks like these are the remaining ones. I'm going to type in on my keyboard 0.03 inches and I'm going to hit enter. It wasn't the most efficient way to do things because now I have down here 2 chamfer commands. I could go back and edit one so I get rid of the other, but at the end of the day, I don't really care too much. So it looks good and I'm happy with it. Okay. We'll stop the video there. There are some other things you can do. You can apply different materials to this to give it a nice look. But what will be important and what we'll look at in the next video is making a 2D drawing of this so that we can actually take it out into the shop and manufacture it. Thanks for watching.